A pleasure to be here with Kamal Mukherjee. So, welcome to the Kolkata Literature Festival. You are soon going to be part of a session called Kya Yahi Pyar Hai, which brings together biographers who've written on Bollywood celebrities, who've written on musicians, actors. Firstly, the question I would like to ask you is, what are you most looking forward to as part of this session? What aspect of the conversation do you want to put forward?
You want to hold this? First of all, it's a pleasure to be a part of 46th Kolkata Literature Festival, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm sorry I've lost my voice because I'm here in town for my film Binodini, Ektin of Drupak Khan, which I'm directing. And so I was very happy when I was invited to be a part of this panel with esteemed jury members, with esteemed other authors, co-authors who've written wonderful books on Aparna Sen and Kishore Kumar. So it's definitely a pleasure to share your views on platform amongst book lovers. And a platform like this or a festival like this can only bring in like-minded people who likes to read and who values words. So that's what I keep saying that. First, it was always the Word, and then it was MS Word. I guess people are a little confused. The word is towards MS Word and not giving importance to the words that we started off with. And as far as biographies are concerned, I think it is easy to pick on who you want to write because most celebrities have interesting lifestyle. But the challenge lies in convincing them, in making them believe that you will do justice with your text, with your research, with your narrative. Unless and until the narrative is interesting enough, until and unless the narrative is comfortable enough for the subject on whom you're writing, your biography might turn out to be a flop show or a boring piece because you have to be honest towards your subject. You need to convince your subject that these are the controversies or these are the gray areas of your career. How do we do it? Do we completely skip it, or we skim through it, or we write it in a way where it doesn't really harm you at this particular age and stage of your life. So there are different ways of approaching a subject when you're writing a biography.
Given that you've written on Bollywood celebrities, who I'm assuming you're also a fan of at some level, how difficult was it to segregate the fan and the biographer? Or do you feel that at some stage the both of them should have blended, the both of them actually ended up blending while you were writing the book?
I am a Bollywood fan, but when I am selecting a subject, the first thing I do is I drop my guard of being a fan of the personality, because you need to be very neutral. A fan cannot be neutral. A fan is definitely blind because he or she, whenever they say that I'm a fan of a person, is obviously biased toward. So if I'm a Sachin fan, then I cannot be a Shaurya fan, as clean as that. And if I'm a Dada fan, then I cannot be a Dravid fan. So then you have actually affiliated yourself to a group of people who like that particular person. So yes, I definitely adore, admire, and respect Hema ji, Mithun da, and Sanjay Dutt is much junior and younger. But the fan element was never ever there. The first thing I wanted is to kind of not be a fan and and be subjective towards my subject, and also be honest in what I'm writing.
These personalities you mentioned, Hema Malini, Mithun Chakraborty, and Sanjay Dutt, have all been adored and loved for years, but they've also at some level been misunderstood. In the writing process, in the research process, in the interviewing process, if you could highlight one thing about each of them that surprised you, that you weren't expecting but you discovered.
Yeah, they all had their share of controversies, and we all know that. And but yeah, I think my Hemaji was very. I prepared myself before asking her about marrying Dharamji, because he was already a married man with a family and son. So that was a very tricky part of her personal career. And so yeah, you need to know how to kind of put the question forward so that the person you're asking should not get demeaned or feel low or feel that I've made a mistake in life. So with Hema ji, it was different when I asked her about Dhanji or marrying a married man. She had a very different take on it, and it stayed with me because she had a different a way of understanding of life, and every life is important. It is not that what you think is always right. It is also what other things, and if they believe in it and if they can kind of live up to it, I think then they're right. Same goes with Mitunda. I can't say which aspect had touched upon me because that particular thing is not there in the book now, because he requested me that, being a sensitive man myself and a father of a child, he said that if you could not write this particular episode the way you have written it. He didn't ask me to delete it. He said that, can you represent it in a different way? So I asked the other, what do you want me to do? Because it's a fact of your life. Said that everybody is grown up and everybody is kind of uh, doing great in their career at this point of time. If you write something which about somebody who they are very close to, or they could be their parents, the mother or the father or sister, so no point hurting them at this point of time, or no point digging the skeleton out of the coffin just for the sake of media or press publicity. If you want to write it, and if people are interested in my biography and they're reading it, they'll know who you're talking about, and they will know my version of that particular person. So I guess that was a very interesting way of saying that don't delete it, but present it in a different way. And I tried and I did that.
Sanjay Dutt?
Oh God! So that was a complete different experience altogether, because Baba on screen and Baba on book is completely different. He doesn't understand too much of books. He's not an avid reader himself. So it was a completely different experience. He was not giving time, and yeah, he was traveling, and he would never be interested. Like he said that every time I tried to pin him down at the airport or at any of the movie premiere or social gathering, would say, "क्यों लिख रहा है तू? कौन पढ़ता है book?" So from there, the first hurdle was to make him believe that people do read books. So that was a fun thing for me. And but of course later on he had his restriction. The reason why he probably didn't want me or anybody to write a book on him is maybe he didn't want to kind of revisit his past, and that's something which I understood while writing the book. That maybe Hemaji or Mitunda would like to revisit their life once again, because they have a lot to say, they have a lot to cherish. Of course, Sanjay Dutt had a lot to say, but not a lot to cherish. You understand what I'm saying? So when you don't have too much to cherish, you probably would not look on to that part of your life, and you probably would like to move on with the greener pasture. So that's it, I guess.
My final question: what is your next Bollywood book on, or do you have a short list? Do you have certain aspirations that this is the next personality that you want to write a book on, write a biography on?
Yes, I would. I would like to write two more biographies, but the thing is that I'm in a position where I cannot give time to my new books. So I will start approaching my publishers post May, post May, and then maybe I have a very interesting subject on the PRs of Bollywood. It's not a biography. So how the PR and publicity changed the face of Bollywood is something which I'm working on. So that could be one of my next, and along with that, I would like to do a biography on Wahida Rahmanji. So that's something which I'm working on.
Lovely. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great time at KLF.
Pleasure, man. Thank you so much.